welcome to Ainora Tarot. So this is going to be a reading regarding who you were in a previous lifetime. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. And if it resonates, please do like, comment, subscribe. I would really love to hear from you. And if it doesn't resonate, please do pick another pile, another reading, or another reader, because not every message is supposed to be for everyone. So I'll just see you in there. Bye. Hi, pile number 1. So this is going to be the reading for who you were in a previous lifetime. So I'm just going to start off with the first card. Mawu, Mother Earth. You are called upon to help with environmentalism. So what I'm feeling is that you might have been a shaman or a medicine woman, and that you've lived in some kind of tribal community where everyone knows everyone, and the wisdom of you, of the shaman or the medicine woman or whatever label. I'm also hearing witch. That people came to you with their problems, but also in happiness. I'm seeing a picture of you marrying other people, or uniting people. Okay, so there's a lot of movement here. So we have Knight of Acorns, Knight of Wands, Action Drive, and 2 of Acorns, Insight, Focus. So I feel like you came from another village, or you moved somewhere. You weren't stuck in the same tribe or the same environment as your parents. You chose to move somewhere else. And I'm hearing you moved for love. So I don't feel like this is someone who were forced to do anything, but that it was a choice, that you wanted more, and people understood that and people accepted that. We have 10 of Crystals, Stability, Attainment, and the Chariot, Discipline, Determination. So you were searching for more, and you knew that there were more to life, and you knew that you could do more, like you could serve people. I'm also getting this image of someone who was a doctor. So you might have gone to school somewhere else, and so you might have lived in this small community, then you went to school for being a doctor or someone who could help people, and then you moved to another small society. So we have dried flower fairy, sweet memories, and mildew fairy, cleanup time. So I feel like there's actually quite a lot of karma from this lifetime. And mostly it feels like you didn't feel like you could do enough. You had very high hopes on what you wanted and how you wanted to help people. And that might cause a disruption in your ability to help people right now. So you want to help people, but you don't know how, and you're unsure as to in which direction. But the more you focus on clearing out old negative patterns and you decide who you want to be, the more of this karma is going to be automatically cleared. I'll take these two. So energy flows where my intention goes, and I am the dreamer of my dreams. So I feel like there's this imbalance in how you look at this, in how you, from a soul's perspective, how you look at it. Because there's this one idea that you are the creator and you decide what you want to do, but there's also this other energy where it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna go with the flow, and it feels like you're kind of stuck between those two, and that this has to do with this lifetime, because it was someone who was very, I feel like this was someone who was very intentional, but you don't want to be that intentional right now, but you're still stuck in this energy that you have to make decisions. The King of Fire and the Seven of Air. There's just a lot of thoughts and a lot of, like, you want to express everything you feel, but it's like there's something holding you back. But you're also very mature, and you are going through a transformation. And I'm getting with the Seven of Air here that you're very connected to animals, and this is also something that is inherited from this previous lifetime. We have Eagle Communion and Green Man Synergy, so I really feel this tribal energy again. For some, you might have been in an environment which was more city-like, but it was still a small community. But then as you grew older, you chose an even smaller community, or you might have even chosen to live in the countryside. But I feel this energy of people traveling towards you, traveling to get your guidance or to get your help and for their medicinal purposes. And I feel like this is something you were struggling with, that people had to travel towards you, but you knew that you couldn't help as much by moving around and finding trouble, like finding people that were sick. You knew that they had to come to you because otherwise you wouldn't be able to be there when they needed help. So you had to set down roots, and you were a pillar of a community, even though you lived outside of the community. Sorry, I had to pause. But here I'm gonna take some some notes. So these are just like handwritten letters and words and major arcana and like some things. I think that's too many. It's the first time I'm using them as well, so it's like kind of hard to shuffle them properly. Haven't really figured out how yet. So I can start with this one and this one. So with the mountain and the beach, it feels like you might have lived somewhere with a lot of different I'm actually hearing desert, but I mean with the beach and the mountain, I'm feeling more like an island, or like, and also with the green man with synergy here, I feel this really islandy vibe. And with the wind and away, it's like, as I said, you traveled somewhere, or you uprooted your life and you chose something else. With insane, I kind of get this, like you living kind of outside of the town, you might have been seen as this kind of insane person, and with creativity and Pisces, so you might have been really, you might have had a lot of emotions, and you might have seemed untangible. Like Pisces is the last of the zodiac and can sometimes be like the outsider of the zodiac, but they are actually very, very strong. And also, like with creativity, I feel like you designed your home in a way that was comfortable to you. So maybe you didn't, your house might not have been, I'm seeing kind of a little hut out in the forest, but that your house was actually like the surroundings, the forest, or whatever was going on. That was your home, that was your house, but you had this little hut where you could be and you could eat and stuff, but that you were more connected with the environment. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If it resonated, or like if you can see parallels to your life today, or if you have past life memories or something, please do reach out regarding that. I would love to hear that. And if it didn't resonate, if it wasn't fun, like pick another pile, another reading, or another reader. And I wish you all the best on your journey. I love you all. Bye. Hi pile number 2. So this is the reading for who you were in a previous lifetime. So opening up, we have this 24 from the Seckley Oracle deck. So it feels like you were kind of a shy person, and you didn't really want to make a fuss. You might have been abused. I'm very drawn to the number 24, so you might have, I'm feeling like you might have had an accident or something when you were 24. I'm also feeling that you might have some trauma from this life. And it feels like you might have, it might seem to other people that you have some kind of childhood trauma, but you might not resonate with actually having that, but there could be some overlap to this lifetime. But you learned so much from this. And I feel like later on in your life, like maybe after 24, there's a lot of things happening for you. I can see you, how you were very in tune with nature, and you could see things that other people might not have been. So you might have been a psychic, or you might have been very interested in the occult. I am getting this image of like the 1920s. So you might have been very into seances or stuff like that. And with the 9 of Pentacles and the Sun, it's like you had everything. So I'm really getting that you were probably rich, but you didn't have an easy childhood. Yeah, with Marie Masquerade, glamour, intrigue, drama. Yeah, I really feel like you were rich, or you were well off. And with Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch, Count Your Blessings, it's like I'm getting this energy like during your childhood, everyone told you in this incarnation that you were supposed to be happy for everything that you had, but you couldn't be happy about everything you had until you went through this transformation. And yet again, like with the iceberg, the submerged, and then the lotus flower unfoldment, it's really about how your life was very rigid in some way, and then you blossomed. So it might have been something as easy as you being bullied when you were growing up, and then suddenly you became like this really stable person, this beautiful creature who everyone adored. And I feel like it has to do with you starting to speak up or starting to understand who you were. So I'm feeling that the number 24, like you might have in this life, it depends on your age, if you're older or if you're younger, but there might have been a transformation in your life as well when you were 24. Like you meeting someone, or you realizing what you wanted to do with your life, or something like that. And I feel like there's an overlap in it being the shifting point where you are actually starting to, or you were starting to develop your self-awareness more. So we have obstacles are detours in the right direction. I choose love no matter what. So it feels like even in this life, you're bringing with you this positive attitude, because it feels like I said in the beginning that you held you had like old wounds from this or trauma from this. But what you do with that, what you do with those negative emotions, it's quite remarkable, because it feels like you really see that every negative thing does have a positive reason behind it. And what is positive, what is negative, that's very, very subjective. And does those things even exist? But from your point of view, you can turn every negative experience into a positive. We have the world and the emperor. So I'm just hearing, you have the world at your feet. You have gotten really strong. You have so much strength, and so much of that comes from this lifetime where you were this person. I'm gonna take some of these homemade handwritten cards that has like letters and words and major arcana and places and stuff. There should be about 160 cards or something. Capricorn. Yeah. Okay. A few more. They're kind of hard to shuffle. They're a bit like sharp, the edges. I didn't want to say that. Oh. I didn't want to say that before, but it felt like there was some kind of love story if we look at the Four of Wands being here. But it felt like this wasn't the actual reason. Like why you had a good life, or why you were positive, but you, through your positivity and through your bright outlook, you were able to find someone, and you were able to integrate both the masculine and feminine parts of yourself. So the lovers doesn't necessarily have to do with love, but it can be more about choice and about yourself. But it feels like you had a love story, and I'm actually getting like a love story that might not have ended in marriage. It might just have been a love story where you were by each other's side for a really long time. And with Capricorn, I feel like you were very grounded, and the Capricorn can be connected with ego, with the devil, but I feel like this is just someone who's very grounded and has a lot of material wealth, but is not egoistical about it, is very stable. And again, with the Four, I just feel stability. And again, with the Four of Wands, it's just, and the Emperor as well, like a lot of stability. Oh, I just realized we have both the Emperor and the masculine. So if you were embodying a masculine energy, you were really, really strong in that. Or if you were feminine, you were strong in a masculine world, or you had someone by your side that was really a masculine energy. With F, I'm hearing fun. With a V, I'm hearing velocity, so you might have liked speed or when things were happening. And with M, I'm hearing masculine again, but I'm also hearing morning. So you might have really enjoyed being like outside, or been a morning person, been someone who got out of bed early. And I don't feel like you necessarily are much of a morning person in this life, but that you have this interest in wanting to use the most of your morning, or feels like you might want to have morning routines, and that is something that if you choose to, you can integrate that and you can use that in your life, and it will actually benefit you quite a lot. And I think that's that. Thank you so much for watching. If something resonated or felt like something you've been thinking about, or if you do have any traumas from previous lives, please do reach out and tell me. I would love to hear. If it didn't resonate, please do pick another pile, another reading, or another reader. Not every message is supposed to be for everyone. But thank you all for watching. I love you all. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So this is your reading regarding who you were in a previous lifetime. So the first card we have is Heart-to-Heart Conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So I'm just feeling like you were a very honest person. Honest, but maybe to a flaw. Like maybe you were kind of like gossiping, but you were in a truthful manner. Time period wise, I do feel like 1800s. I'm very drawn to the velvety green as well. So I'm getting kind of that you had a lot of money, but I'm also getting that you stepped away from money later in your life. But this whole situation, it feels kind of sad actually. It feels like you were a scholar, you had a lot of money, and you were this idealist. You wanted to build things and you wanted to move forward. We do have two fours here. We have the Four of Earth, which is the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Fire, which is the Four of Wands. So you had a lot of stability, but you weren't able to appreciate it. We have the Book of Shadows, which is the Hierophant, and the Nine of Earth, which is the Nine of Pentacles. But if you look at this cow, it's kind of this sad. I actually think we had the Four of Wands in the previous reading, and I think we had the Nine of Pentacles as well, but those were really, or it might have been in the first pile, but those were really like positive cards in that. But this doesn't feel like it's really giving enough. You weren't satisfied with this life of having a lot of stuff, but you couldn't see the meaning behind everything. We have the Three Fates, what comes around, and Candy Cane Angel, it's time for a treat. So you very much, you just wanted something more. And yeah, with my throat is acting up, so yeah, I was just gonna talk about the communication that you might have. It might not have been that you gossiped a lot, but you were knowledgeable. With the Hierophant here, you were really knowledgeable in a lot of subjects, but you might have been a woman and you maybe weren't supposed to know all of these things. Maybe you weren't supposed to be this wise, and that made you want to choose something very different, and you didn't want to be just another ornament. You wanted passion, and you didn't want to be like the other girls. And this can even have been someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who was a woman. It can be someone who just had a different sexual orientation than was acceptable at that point in time. Someone who just wanted something else than they were offered. And I'm getting like teacher vibes, so someone might have been a teacher and chosen that life. And with dawn, new beginnings, and volcano volatility, I think you sought out a new life, but that life wasn't what you were expecting. So if we look at with volcano volatility, I have never noticed this before, but there is this two people like experiencing pleasure up here. I've never seen that. But there is this idea that I think you might have fallen in love with someone, but I do get the vibe that was not a good person. Like you might have followed passion instead of you might have followed passion instead of your wit. And I'm really getting that you were trapped in this relationship or with this person, and that might have, so I'm getting that you might have problems opening your heart up now in your current situation, in your current life. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. I let go of the shadow of the past by seeing someone for the first time with the eyes of love. So I'm feeling like you really need to work on your self-empowerment and learn to trust yourself again. And with these two eyes, it's like you need to, I'm just getting, look yourself in the mirror and love who you see. Let go of all of these negative patterns that you have in your life, because it's all like linked to this situation. And I feel like you're really afraid of opening your heart, but you have people around you that are worthy of receiving your love. And this is really, I find this really cool to have these two like eyes. And then with this deck, it's like the exact same color, the 5 of Earth and the 3 of Earth. So yeah, I'm just getting that you should build yourself up and don't be afraid of money. So I feel like you have a tendency to think that money is bad, or that you aren't worthy of money, or have a fear regarding that. But money is not a negative thing in itself. It's what we project onto the money. Money is just a physical object, but you need to realize that you are worthy of something more. And I just realized, oh, it was so warm, but I just realized that my candle have gone out, so it feels like this, like, just focus on your passions and don't be afraid of what other people think, or that you won't be able to use your money for good. You will. The more you use it by giving it to your passion, so to speak, like spending the money on yourself, the more you will be able to give to the world. So I'm gonna take some of these handwritten cards. Today is the first time I'm using them, or made them today even. But it's like, there's letters, and there's the major arcana, and there is different signs and just small messages or places and stuff. So summer. Oh, I think I'm no one more. Oh, there's two. Sorry, the phone cut there, but I think there were a few more popping out than what got on camera. They just didn't want to stop. But I'm just gonna... Oh, those two were in the last reading as well. So when I put the cards back in the deck, in the other decks as well, I put each one in a separate location, and when I shuffle, they just want out again. Okay. So I'm gonna start with I'm gonna put the letters up here, and I'll take those last. So I feel like you started off with like this family and this home where everything was supposed to be good. You couldn't really understand that. And with the artist as well, it feels like you had a different idea what life was, and when the opportunity came, you had to jump. So I feel like you might have fallen for someone. You might have fallen for someone, and you might have married someone with the Hierophant and the Wife card, and someone who was like outside of your preferred, like, I'm hearing pool of potential partners. So your family, they might have had an idea like you should marry this or this person, or someone with these like qualifications, and you chose someone else. You might have even chosen to run off with an artist, or you ran off being an artist. And with 2020 and 4, so 2020 can be conduced to or added together to become a 4. Some seeing 44 in my head. But also with 2020, I feel like you do suffer from from things that happened in this life, in that life, this life, in your current life. And that it's up to you to turn this around, and this year is actually helping you clear out a lot of the wounds. As strange as 2020 might have been and is continuing to be, there is also this new like restart for you. With C, I'm getting like C. You saw the world and you could see through people, but not when it came down to love. You weren't able to see through who that person you were choosing, or the life you were choosing, how that could impact you in a negative way. With H, I do hear heart. I think that you were really heart-centered, and maybe your parents didn't treat other people the way that you wanted them to treat them, or you just wanted them to do more for the world, and that made you a bit rash in certain areas of your life. With F though, I do hear friends. I feel like you had a lot of friends, but mostly I feel like you in this life, the current life, you might have a lot of friends around you that really wants you to heal and help you, and that you don't really have these negative influences around you. And with V, I'm hearing very, very, very. So with very, 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 I'm getting that you are wishing and you are manifesting things, and you just haven't really figured out how to incorporate money in that. So I'm really getting that you should focus on your relationship to money. And I'm done there. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated, please do comment, like, comment, subscribe. I would like to hear from you. And if there's anything that you feel is like, oh my god, my throat is still acting up, but something that is relevant for your situation today. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. So this is the reading for you regarding who you were in a previous lifetime. So we have the drum from the mystical shaman oracle. But yeah, I feel like you were a nature child, like just this someone who was really in tune with everything around you, with nature, with children, animals, and you just loved life. And you were, I'm also getting like music and stuff like that. And we have the Hermit, 5 of Swords, the Tower, and the 4 of Wands. So you were a soul searcher. I'm honestly getting this rock star vibe. But I'm not getting a specific point in time, so it can have been, I'm just gonna drink some tea, sorry. It might have been an equivalent to a rock star, depending on when you were incarnated. But with the Hermit and the 5 of Swords, it's like when you encountered a problem somewhere, you would withdraw from life, from other people, and you would look at those problems. And why I'm getting rock star is actually that this is a very common way to to write lyrics, or you're looking at the world and then you are by yourself trying to make sense of that world. And also as an artist, my god, what am I saying? As an artist, you I kind of know, or for me that is, I enjoy this like contrast, and I use that a lot in my lyrics and stuff. But with the Tower and the Four of Wands, it's like this really happy, stable life at the same time as there's so much going on within. So I'm getting that you might have on the surface looked like you had it all, but you were mentally falling apart for different reasons, but you were also using that energy to make something beautiful. We have Autumn is my last chance, please don't lose hope, and Violet Angel, breaking dawn. Sorry. And so with this, I'm also getting this, like, I'm seeing the apple as a heart, so I'm feeling like this energy of I'm holding my heart in my hand for you, and then being turned down, and then you like emerge as a new person, as in writing a song lyric about a breakup, and then you are suddenly using that lyric to show yourself to the world. And I haven't talked about appearance in the previous piles, but I'm very drawn to the black hair. So you might have either had a tendency to color your hair black, or you might have naturally had black hair. We have music. Of course we have music in this pile. We have drum and we have music. Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else, but I don't really see that. And normally this deck I think has a lot of like music stuff, but doesn't seem to have that in here. But we have music and we have the drum. So we have harmony, we have the search for harmony within and without, and Gaia nurturing. So how you really cared about things, but you might not have been able to show that in the way you wanted to show that, but you are definitely someone who used music as a means to deal with emotions, and that can be something that is lingering on today, that you are using music to, or listening a lot to music when you're hurt, or when you're happy, or when you're going through your emotional spectrum. We have my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe, and hope is a conduit for miracles. So definitely also someone that with music, by doing what you love or loved, you were manifesting a better life for you and for people around you. So it's almost as if you came from nothing, but your feelings, and then as you were moving through your life, you discovered that you could transform your feelings into music, and that music in turn generated money or stability. So I'm getting that there might be something in your current life that you are very pulled towards living out your passion, and that this is kind of a confirmation that if you choose to go down that path of actually following your passion, following what you really like to do instead of doing the 9-to-5 things, then that is something that is in turn going to generate something very positive for you. We have 2 of earth and 7 of fire. So with this, I get that you were a dreamer. You saw opportunities, but you know, not only saw the opportunities, you reflected over those opportunities and you made sure to ground them. Even though from the outside it might have looked as if you were doing a lot of stuff or you were trying to balance a lot of things, you were actually very forward moving and you had a very clear vision of what you wanted in life. Now I'm just gonna take some of these handwritten notes. It's like there's numbers and letters and the major arcana and stuff like that. Small messages and places. Oops. I can feel it already that you're gonna have. There's a lot of them wanting to come out. I can just want them to be a bit more. I don't want them to hurt me because they're kind of sharp since they're made out of paper. Not that many, please. A bit less. Oh, we have the Hermit again. Oh god, they came out together. Cool. Wow. Okay. Spouse, child, inner child, okay, where to begin? I'm gonna start with the Hermit and crazy. I'm just gonna pause this for a bit. I'm back. So we have Hermit and crazy. So you were definitely dealing with your emotions by yourself, and people might have seen you as crazy, but with higher education, I don't feel like people were judging you from it. I think that you always came out of it very, very wise. So that you had a lot of people might have seen you as, oh, they're going through a depression or something, and you were actually just going through your emotions. And I feel like that's something you might have in your life now as well, that you might turn away from people once you had something to reflect on. But with Spring and City, I feel like you were really like that you were growing up in the city. I kind of get New York in my head. I'm also getting London, but like these really, really big cities with a lot of things happening, a lot of things going on. In fact, I'm actually getting like more specific New York thing, like Brooklyn. But also this like husband, spouse, and child. I'm getting that you were actually in this very traditional family unit. It doesn't have to be like with spouse and not wife coming out. I feel like this, it doesn't matter if it was a traditional marriage in the old heteronormative way of a wife, husband, and a child or children, but it's more like just the trio of getting one child together, and that's something you ended up in. But with inner child as well, I'm both getting that there could have been several children, but I'm honestly most getting that you were with the hermit, higher education crazy, you were always working on your inner child because you had a lot of wounds from when you were growing up. And with 10, I feel like this life you actually completed a lot of cycles and you don't have that much karma from this life. It's actually you got rid of a lot of karma in this life, and you ended a lot of hurting. So I'm getting this image of a rock star turning family person, turning calm. I'm just hearing calm. So when you were passing away, it just feels like everything was calm. With 6, I do feel like your life, like you were victorious in some way. And I do feel like I'm actually getting that there might be like 6 people in your life that are directly in your life because you live together in some way or had this previous life together, and that they're in your life in the current realm, in the current time period, and that they're these like soulmates or like people it feels like you've known forever. With M, I'm getting master. So you master something, you were really good at something, and that just because you mastered something in that life, maybe you are more prone to master something else this life because you already feel that energy, you're already aware of how to be really good at something, so you can be very have a very agile mind, so it can be easy for you to learn new things. And with V, I think this has jumped out in almost every reading, but with V here, I'm seeing it more as an arrow, actually. As I'm looking at it, I'm seeing it as an arrow pointing towards me, so as if like it's pointing towards you. So I think that you are with inner child as well. Like you are working a lot on yourself in this life as well. You are you want to move forward and you want to make the best of life and you want to be a good person, and that's like something that is a very core aspect of who you are. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like this resonated, please do like, comment, subscribe. I would love to hear from you, and if this seems relevant to who you are now. And if it didn't resonate, please do pick another pile, another reading, or another reader. And I hope that all of you are, I don't know what I was supposed to say. I wish all of you well on this journey of life. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye.